Hey everybody, welcome to our week of crafting and quilting. I have some of the funnest things planned for you guys. And what's exciting is most of them you will get a free pattern to go along with it. Now, they're not posted and they're not, you may find a few pictures, but most of it's going to be a surprise. Today's project, I'm I've got the pattern in my head and I'm gonna make it while we make it up for the first time right here while you watch. So that way I will send out your pattern later today, which will be awesome. So you're gonna get patterns, and this quilt behind me is one I've designed, and it that pattern will be out. That's going to be our Saturday live. So that one you get to know because you're here or because you're watching this on the replay. Um, but each day I'll do something different. They'll all be a surprise, and you'll get the patterns for most. Now, there are a couple that I can't give patterns because they're not mine to give, but I'm going to teach you on, I can't remember, Thursday or Friday. I'm going to teach you how to do a minky quilt, and that isn't a pattern I can give, but it is kits that you can purchase, and I have them available on the website. They're through Shannon Fabrics. But a lot of people are afraid of minky, so I decided to teach you how to do it. And so then you can decide, maybe if you have minky laying around your house, you can cut strips and duplicate what I'm doing with your scraps. Anyway, so today we're going to make this cute little pillow. It'll be fun. Um, I'm going to be switching back and forth on the camera quite a bit, and I'll show you an aerial view. I'm not going to show you as I sew. I'll just talk to you and hold it up because it's so simple today that you won't need to watch me sew. And I'm not good with the cameras, so moving cameras to back and forth, I'll probably just tip them over. Down the road, I'll get better with my cameras, and maybe I'll get my husband on the to be the camera guy, and he can move things in and out and make it more professional. But for now, it's just me. I'm on Zoom because Facebook has been very unpredictable for me lately. Some days it lets me go live, some days it won't. So I felt like this would be a great opportunity to just record on Zoom and have you come with me. You can ask questions. Feel like you can ask questions over here on the side. Sometimes we're just going to unmute you and you can ask your question. If you're uncomfortable with that, then typing it over here on the side is fine. Over in the chat is fine. Whatever you're comfortable with, I'll try to watch for that. If I don't see your question, I think there's a little button somewhere that you can raise your hand or something. Anyway, I'm not sure I'll be able to see that. But let's just work through this. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to have you on the replay. And let's see. Oh, one more thing before we start. This starting on Wednesday, there will be kits available on my website for any of the projects that I show you, it, all but one. There will be kits available. And starting on Wednesday, I'll be launching, I should give you dates. Let me just look at the calendar here and give you the exact dates. So that would be Wednesday, April 5th. Is that right? No. March. Wednesday, April 2nd. I'm on the wrong month. Wednesday, April 2nd through April 9th, I will be opening up my past and my newest subscription box clubs. Those will be available from the 2nd through the 9th. I'll have those carts open. On midnight on the 9th, I'll be closing those carts. So if you want to join one of my subscription clubs, you can look on the website on Wednesday and you'll be able to see what's new and what we'll be doing in the future. I have several clubs. You can see some of them now, some are sold out. There's a couple still available that we can add people. I have a t-shirt club where each month you would get a t-shirt that talks about chocolate. You can see those on the website, some past examples. There's also a block of the month. If you like a little bit of hand stitching, there's a hand embroidered block in each one. So anyway, let's get started with the project for today. Let's switch cameras and I'll show you what I've got over here. All right, let's see if the camera, it's going to take it a minute to focus. All right, focus. Okay, there we go. All right, I have pre-cut 2 squares of white fabric, and now they're not just plain white, and I don't know if you can see. Oh, there you go. With the black light, you can see that they're just this cute little flower. And what I've done is I've cut two 18-inch squares, and they're bigger than we need, but we're going to cut them down in the end. Okay, so we've got these cute little flowers, and I've got two, and then I've got a 5-inch stacker. This one's from Riley Blake, a 5-inch stacker that we're going to use. So let me cut the ribbon off of that. So we've got a 5-inch stacker and two 18-inch squares. The one I have cut in half. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. This one I've cut in half on the back. This one is the front one. So we've got to make sure that our fabric, you can tell here that the back side, I have a hard time seeing these little prints. Oh, my camera's going to give us grief today. Come on. So you can see with a black light, the right side and the wrong side, the little black light will make the pattern show up so that you can see it. If you're on the back side, it won't show. So that's how I use the little black light, just because maybe my eyes are a little tired as I age. All right, discard this one. There's the two pieces, put those aside for a minute. And then what I want you to do is take your stacker and pick out, you're going to pick 8 pieces. So pick your favorite 8. I think I'm going to go with, let's try this. I'm going to go, we're going to pick 8 and we're making this cute little fat flower today. Oh, maybe I'll just use the same flower all the way around. I don't know if I like that one. We want a pink one. Oh, that pink flower's cute. Well, I guess I got them where you can't see them. Oh, I like that one. All right, let's see what else we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I'm gonna throw this gray one in here, and I'm going to throw this one in here. Okay, now we have 8 different colors, and I'm just gonna restack those. And I'm gonna be brave, and I'm gonna cut them all at once. Now, you could cut them one at a time. I don't know. I'm just a little lazy, and it's not really going to matter if they're not quite perfect, because we're going to do a raw edge finish on this. All right. So I've restacked them. Now I have this pattern, which you'll get. I mean, I know it's really simple, but there will be details and things in your pattern description. All right. I'm just going to lay that pattern on. Oh, I think I loosened my blade too much. Let me fix that. Okay. All right. Just gonna cut around that pattern. I guess maybe I'm gonna have, I kind of might, sorry, let me fix my blade. My blade, I think I put the little thingy on upside down on the back and it won't go tight. It's wobbling on me. Oh, that was the problem. Okay. Problems averted here. Maybe. Okay. Let me try again now that my blade is tight, I think. All right. So we're just gonna cut around that pattern. That's much better. All righty. There's our flower petals. And then I'm going to use some spool glue little bit of school glue. So then pull over your 18-inch piece here. Oh, and then fold it 2 times. So fold it. Now it doesn't have to be exact, but it'll, close is good. Fold it 4 ways. Make a good crease right here on the corner so you can find your center. That's all we're doing is finding our center. And again, I gotta make sure I've got my color. Okay. This camera's gonna give me grief today. It's not done this. Maybe I need to bring it down a little. I'm gonna bring it down. See if that will help. Have you a little closer. Okay. So then we're just going to, you can see your center where you folded it. And then we're just going to work these around. I think I'm probably going to need to do those a little closer. I'll have the layout for you in the pattern. Let's, okay. That one, if you can see it, I've got a little bit of the pinking, but it's not going to matter because we're going to do a little center in it in a minute. And then this one, you're going to want to flip it up like that. So they're staggered. Okay, so now we've got all of our little flowers staggered. How cute is that? And how simple was that? Okay, I want you to take a little bit of this washable school glue. I don't know if you've used this in your quilting. You're going to see me use this a lot this week. Um, So this is washable school glue. You can put it on your quilt, and yes, it's purple, but it dries white and it washes out, so it doesn't really matter. So what I want you to do is just tack each of your petals down with a little bit of glue. Just tack them down. I mean, you could pin if you would rather. Go ahead and pin, but I love the school glue. And yes, these are frayed and oh, I'm going to switch this one because, oh, I guess I've got a lot of frays showing, or not frays, I've got a lot of the pinking that they put along the edges of these is showing, but it really doesn't matter because in the end, we're going to fray these edges and it's going to be cute anyway. Okay. So glue those down just a little bit or pin them if you're afraid of the glue. I don't like pins. So for me, this is the way to go. I don't want that thread. There we go. All right. Now those are glued down. Okay, so that is your flower. How simple and how cute is that? All right. So then what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to the sewing machine and I am going to stitch about a quarter to a half inch in here, 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 here. We're just going to stitch, and you can use a fun top stitch. Today I've just got white in because I wasn't sure which colors I was going to pick. But let me take this over to the sewing machine and I'm going to start sewing. And this is going to be one of the fastest projects. All right, I'm going to switch cameras back so I can talk to you while I'm sewing. Let me just make sure we don't have any questions. I mean, this is so simple. I don't know why anybody would have a question on this, but if you do, I'm happy to just chat. Okay. I think I'm going to switch up. Let me just reach and switch up my presser foot. I have the wrong one on from what I was working on earlier. I was working on Minky. And I did a pre-record for you on that Minky quilt because I needed to gift it to my granddaughter yesterday for her birthday. So that one is already pre-done for you. I can be watching and watching your questions and answering as we go through on Thursday. But All right, I'm just gonna start on one of these and I've got my quarter inch foot on and I'm gonna show you that perfection isn't gonna matter on this pillow. So if you're a beginner or you're not a perfectionist, this is the perfect project. I think my tension's off a little bit. My machine is not happy this week, you guys, so um I'm hoping I make it through this week. Anyway, my machine has given me some grief. All right, I'm going to show you this first one and then you can see. All right, let's bring back to this camera. All right, this one's going to be hard to see because I went with the gray. Bringing you down. Hopefully, camera doesn't fall. Let's show you here. So my tension is off. Yours won't do that. My tension's puckering a little bit. You can't really see my stitch, but I started here. I started here with my stitch, went up, pivoted down, and I went underneath that loop, just barely. Okay, now I'm going to go back and stitch the rest of those. All right. I went and cheated a little bit and did some of the petals while we were on pause so that you wouldn't have to watch me do the whole thing. Don't forget to stitch. Oh boy. Don't forget to stitch. Just lift the last one up just a little bit. All right, I'm having sewing machine issues and it's just typical. It's just a typical thing for me to have technical problems or sewing machine issues when I want to do something live. So that's just part of my life. You guys will just watch it happen. Murphy's Law is definitely, and I'm not asking for that, I promise. I promise I'm not saying, hey Murphy, bring me some issues. Anyway, um, I'll maybe my sewing machine just needs a good clean, and I'll do that tonight. I'll get it clean for the rest of the week. Hopefully, we won't have those issues. But it's just part of life and part of sewing, and it's okay. But you're gonna see when I lay this down that it's not gonna be flat. My tension is really off, and it's really puckering, but it's okay. For this, it won't really matter because of the height, because of the things we're doing. So it's not really gonna matter. All right, I'm on the last petal and then I'll show you how cute this is looking. And then we'll do the center. A fun little way to do the center. A thread catching. Okay. On that last petal, you can't lift it up and flip it under. So do it just a touch of back stitch right there on that last one so it doesn't come undone. All right. I'm not going to worry about threads right now. We'll trim those later. I'm not going to make you watch me trim threads. All right, over here, look how cute this is. And yes, it's lumpy and yeah, but yours will be better. So don't worry about how lumpy it is. Um, all right, I'm going to trim these threads in the center simply because we're going to put a little center on there and I don't want those sticking out. All right, so pick one of your colors. Pick one that you think you like the most. Throw it in the center. I'm wondering if I want gray. Let's maybe do that one in the center. Okay, so just take and cut out, and I'll give you the exact dimensions later. When you get your pattern, you'll have the exact dimensions of this, but I am going to cut a little circle and I'm going to use one of my favorite tools. This is the circle cutter by Olfa. Um, I've got it set at I think it's 1.5 inches. I'll put that in the instructions. But this is fun. You just take this little thing off here. It's got a little sharp point. You raise your blade. You can make your blade exposed there, and then this will adjust on this. This here adjusts for the size you want. I just stick that in the corner, make sure it's gonna clear, and then my blade's a little bit maybe dull because I use this a lot. So I'm gonna go around twice just because, all right, yeah, I need a new blade, but that's okay. Um, I love how quick those circles are. So then don't forget to close your blade. I've cut my knuckles on this before, so make sure you close your blade. Um, all right, and then we're just gonna stick that in the center. Again, I'm gonna glue it down right here. Now this one, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I've got this fun fabric. Okay, this strip we're gonna sew. So I'm gonna stitch this around and I'm gonna stitch this around with it. So I'll bring it back and show you, but I'm just gonna lay some on there and it's gonna ripple and I'm gonna stitch it around and I'm gonna swirl it in the center. And then what this stuff does is when you wash it, it frays. And all of our petals are gonna fray, and our center's gonna fray, and then this is gonna fray in the center. We're also going to put this on the outer edge of our quilt when or of our block. When we've cut it down to the size we want, then we will stitch this on the outer edge. So back over the sewing machine, gonna stitch this down. And I'm gonna switch cameras with you because I don't think you want to just talk to a blank screen. So all right. This pillow is almost done, you guys. It's pretty simple project. Let me find my end of this. Okay, this stuff, it takes a minute to kind of lay it around and it's not going to be perfect and we don't want it to and it's not going to matter. I will wash this pillow and tonight, as soon as I'm done, I'll get it washed. I think I have a pillow form in the mail. Hopefully it'll be here this afternoon and we'll put the pillow form in it. And then I'll have it on the live tomorrow and I'll also post pictures of it so you can see the finish after it frays and how cute that is. The beauty of doing a raw edge and letting it fray is you don't have to worry so much about those rough edges that we started with over there, and the little pinking shears they use to cut that into place. Okay. Now this is not going to look great from your view until it's washed. It's going to look kind of messy in the center, but I promise you it will be cute when it's done. And this stuff is called chenille. I have it in about 12 colors. It's not on the website yet, but it will be shortly this week because I wanted to kind of debut it here. It's been on the market a little while. I've had it for a little while. I've been just kind of trying to figure out ways to use it. Really like it. Okay, you're gonna say, holy cow, that looks horrible, but it's gonna be so fun when it's washed. So let me trim and we'll switch over here and then you can see it. Oh, not microphone. We're changing camera. Okay. So look how cute that is. All right. And you can see it's kind of messy, but what I did is I just sat it on at the 1/4 inch here, kind of 1/4 inch, leaving that raw. 1/4 inch, and then I went all the way around. I overlapped here where I wanted to overlap a little bit, and then I brought it in and left some space because I didn't want to stitch this on top. I want this to be raw. And then I just kind of bunched it up in the center and finished it off. You may want to not zigzag, but back stitch that center really good so that it won't come undone, and it's going to be really cute. This comes in all colors, so and you can buy it by the yard. You don't have to buy it. Mine it comes in a whole roll, but that would last you forever. So it comes by the yard. And so you can match the color of whatever project you're working on. If you don't have any 5-inch stackers at home I mean, this is one I've had for a long time, and I didn't really know what to do with it because it was a freebie. Got a freebie. I wasn't really sure what to do with it. It's not enough for a big quilt. Didn't really, anyway, it's perfect. A 5-inch stacker is perfect for this kind of project. You do have a little extra, but you could easily make a couple others. You could do a you could do a big bench pillow with 3 of these, or do 3 separate. You could make 3 of these and put them in the center of a quilt. There's a lot of things you could do with this. Okay, let's set this aside and let's go over here to our back. So what we're gonna do to the back piece, oh, where did my light bulb go? Okay. All right, I've got the wrong side. All right, I want the wrong side on this, and I think I have it. Okay, got the wrong side. And what we're gonna do, raise this camera up just a touch for you. All right, we are going to take these edges and we're going to fold them. And you can take them over and press them if you want, but we're going to fold them over 1/4 inch once and 1/4 inch twice. So you're going to do 2 1/4 inch folds on this side and on this side. So go ahead and get those 2 stitches. Now, if you don't have the pattern, which right now I know you don't have the pattern, I have not sent it out to anybody. But if you're sewing along with the replay, then you can just pause me or go over to your iron and pause me and do this. I'm not going to iron because I'm live and I just hate to waste too much of your time. Um, anyway, I'm going to quickly do this without ironing. You get a better finish if you iron, but just because of time. The reason I'm having you roll that 1/4 inch twice is it'll give you a finished seam, and then you won't have a fray. Because this actually like a pillow cover, and because I know we don't need a gazillion pillows laying around, but sometimes it's fun that you don't mind having the little pillow cover um, that just you stack in your closet. They'll stack nicely and neatly, and you can pull them out, switch out the pillows for holidays, and like this is a fun little spring pillow. So I'm showing you how to make a casing. I guess it's kind of a casing, so that you won't have a fray, and then you can flip it out, switch it out. Okay, there's one done. The second one done. This is gonna be really easy. So all these instructions will be emailed out to you sometime this week. If some friend has given you a link to this video and you are not on my email list, you too can get all the patterns and the replays of this week's lives. So just go to my website, that's hotchocolatequiltcompany.com. You go to the website, let me get the mic a little closer. The website is hotchocolatequiltcompany.com. And if you go there and just join, go to my website and there's a little pop-up that's gonna come up on the screen. Just wait for it. It takes maybe 10 seconds. There's a pop-up and you can just throw your email in right there. I'm not quite sure what email you're gonna get. It's gonna maybe say you're on the list or welcome or something, you're on the list, but don't worry about it. I will make sure that you get all of these sent out. So if you join after this call and you're able to join our lives, at the end of this week, I'll send a final email that will have all of the patterns. You won't miss anything. And if you do miss something, then you just need to reach out through my email and say, I missed Wednesday or whatever you missed. So I'll make sure you get those patterns. All right, let's go back over here. So now you've got these folded. Yeah, they're double folded. And put your right side of your fabric down. You're going to overlap it about an inch, inch and a half. Okay, you're going to overlap it. Now you're going to have to figure this out because I did cut these too big. So what you're going to do is you're going to now, well, let's do this. Let's flip this over. Let's flip our little pillow over here. This is our pillow. Don't look at my messy threads, and it doesn't really matter. It's on the inside. Then we're going to take this piece of camera. Not focusing. Okay, let me adjust the camera. I'll be right back. All right, so now that you've got these folded, put the right sides up. You want the right sides up. You're going to overlap this an inch, inch and a half, and you can pin that if you want to pin that. Measure it and pin it top and bottom. Then you're going to go over to your sewing machine and you're just going to stitch right here, right across that, because you want that to be sewn together. It doesn't need a back stitch or anything. You're just tacking it right here so that let's bring this down. We're tacking it so that it's together. And then what we'll do is we'll have one piece of fabric that we're going to cut to fit the top. So I'm going to stitch those two pieces. I know I should pin, but I don't pin. Okay, we have a question about, yeah, if you are using your own fabrics, just, I mean, you can just cut it out of any of your fabrics, or if you like a clean edge on your scrap fabrics, then just cut 5-inch squares, just little 5-inch squares, and then you can do what I did to cut them out, and yeah, you'll be fine. You can use all kinds of scraps for this. I chose the 5-inch stacker because I had one available, and it's easy for me to kit for people that aren't quite sure what to use. But if you have scraps, go ahead and use those scraps. That's awesome. All right, so now let's see if you can see this. All right, so you can see I've stitched that together just at the top, and that gives us this pocket so that we can put our gives you a pocket to put your pillow in, your pillow form. Okay, now you may, I think those will stick down. If it doesn't stick down, you can always add a little button right here. You could do a button. You don't need a buttonhole. You just need a little button loop. Just make a loop. You can even use you can use the ribbon from your stacker, and all you have to do is just make a little loop like this. Make a little loop. Stick that under and stitch it right there. Let me just lay this flat. So you would just do a loop like that, and then you just get a big button and sew it right there. And we should probably just do that. Let me just grab a big button and we'll just do it so you know how. Okay, I got my button jar. So let's just, oh, of course there's chocolate. What we got in there? Got my grandma's button jar that I guess I think I remember hiding chocolate from my kids or my grandkids in the button jar, but now they want to play in the buttons. Anyway, chocolate for today. I guess we're doing caramels and a pistachio Lindor chocolate. All right, let's see which these I don't know, grandma's buttons ought to work. Let's see. Maybe it's kind of beat up. This one's kind of beat up, but maybe I'll just use that big one. That's a good use of a giant button. I think we're gonna have buttons all over the cupboard here. I think I'll just push them all out of the way. Mess to clean up later. Okay, so, yep, go over there. All right, so we'll just take a little piece of this. All right, buttons are out of the way. We're just going to take a little piece of this Riley Blake. Why not? Why not use it? So you're just gonna make a little loop like this, a little loop. Here, I'll overlap it this way for you. A little loop. You want to make sure that loop's going to go over that button. You want to be able to get the loop over the button. Okay, so I'm just going to take it over here and sew it right into my seam and leave that hanging. And then again, just kind of hold it, make sure your button will go through. Because if your button's too tight, yeah, the button's going to go through just fine. You don't want that button to not go through that. So just clip it off. I think that is the right length for this one. So I'll go over and just stitch that, excuse me, underneath. We'll do that quickly. That's going to just take a couple seconds. Oh, and I've lost my button now on the floor. But I think there was a second. Okay, I'm gonna stitch it and I'm going to back stitch it 2 times. Just because that button is gonna get a lot of tension. That little loop is gonna get a lot of attention or a lot of tension, and we don't want it to come undone. Of course, you could easily go in and fix it later. All right, so then we've got our loop on. Now you just need to put on your button. So I would just kind of put it clear out here. Clear out. So what you want to do is take the center of the button to the edge of the loop, because that's where you want your tension to, otherwise it's going to gap open. So I'm just going to go over, I like to do buttonholes on my sewing machine as well. And you can hand stitch that on if you want. I'm going to machine stitch it, and I'm not going to show you that. That's kind of a disaster waiting waiting to happen. Let me just do it really quickly. We'll get this button on. I think I've adjusted it just a little far down. It slipped on me, so now I need to just adjust the button to the loop. All right, I'm not even going to change feet. I probably will wish I had, because I might end up breaking a needle. Okay. Though, can't really even hear it because I'm not pushing the motor. I'm just using the little wheel on the side. But okay, so now the button's on there. So we've got the button and we've got the little ribbon, and then you can just, once you've put it into your pillow, put your pillow form in, you can see how that'll lay nice and flat. Yeah, the great use of the extra ribbon. You don't have to go buy ribbon. You don't have to make a strip. Anyway, okay, so now we've got that. Let me raise this camera up because we're gonna cut now. Hopefully it will stay focused on us. All right, so now this is the right side of your fabric. Just go ahead and smooth it out. I'm gonna remove a few buttons here. Smooth it out. Then you're going to take your cute little pillow top. You're gonna flip it upside down. You're gonna put it right on there, center it, center it with, remember we sewed this down right here. So this is your center, and maybe you should just this in half, fold this in half and kind of crease it. Kind of crease it so you get your halfway mark, and then just kind of line it up with the center of where you've sewn. Here's the two edges, and it'll line it up with the center, your little fold mark. Okay, top and bottom. Now we're going to have a little extra fabric on around it. So what I want you to do is you're just going to trim up your extras. So let me move. I'm working on a little tiny space here, trying to do these videos. I don't have access to the full sewing space. I'm used to spreading out, but so I have to make a little room. But go ahead and just trim because things are going to be a little crooked as you go. Just trim it up. It'll be a roughly, I don't know, 18, anywhere between 14 and 16 inches when you're done. So I'm going to do top and bottom and get those squared up. All right, let me just square this. Make sure that it's not crooked. And then I'm just going to cut this right off on this line. Okay, now the top and the bottom are squared up. So let's see how wide that is. And we'll just make the whole thing the same size. So we are around 37 and a quarter inches, or let's see, 17 and a quarter inches. So you're going to want to do the same thing. You're going to want to, maybe you want to just get a little mark and mark your pillow in the center. And everybody's maybe a little bit different. So don't worry too much about the if your measurement is off from ours. Just I don't have a pen. I'm just gonna wing it. You guys, I've got a little wax pencil right here. So here's my 17 on this side. And 17 and a quarter. And here's my 17 and a quarter on this side. So now I'm just gonna cut those off. I know I'm a little awkward trying to cut for you guys. It's just getting used to the small space. I have this really nice quilting room, but I've scrunched it down so that I can access the cameras with a cutting table and a sewing machine and all my cameras and all my screens, and the screens take up a lot of space. But it's working. It's working well. So, okay, so now we're squared up. So simple. Now we have a squared up pillow. Make sure your your buttonhole is on the inside, your button and your ribbon are on the inside, and the pretty side of your quilt or your pillow is on the inside. Now this is where you might want to pin. And I don't have any straight pins beside me. I was working on a different project. I'm just going to use these. You use your straight pins on this. This is where I would suggest I would pin the center just to hold it stable, and I would pin all four corners. And then you're just going to go over to your sewing machine and you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch all the way around. I would back stitch on this. You don't want it to come undone. You never know when somebody's gonna have a pillow fight with your pillow, so make sure that it can handle all the grandkids and the kids having pillow fights, because usually that happens at my house. But go ahead now and just stitch all the way around. And then that's going to give us I think we decided that's 17. That'll be about a 17-inch pillow. I think I've ordered 18-inch pillow forms, and I want it a little big because I want it a little fluffy. I like it when you do a pillow and they are puffed up. I don't like it when they look like they need some filler. So I've ordered a little bit bigger pillow forms. I'll let you know if those work. As soon as the pillow forms come, I will send out this video. And then, or I'll send out the video and I'll send out the instructions with the exact size of pillow form. I guess that's what I get for making it on the fly with you guys here with me. I know it's risky. What was I thinking? A little risky to start a project and not know if it's gonna work. Yep, I've already okay, let me lay this. I've got this funky here. Something weird happened. Fixed now. Had a string. Okay. All right. Almost done, and then I'll flip it and show you the cute finish. Oh, I know something I forgot. I forgot to throw this in. Okay, one more step that I forgot about, and it's our chenille. So what I'll do is I won't make you watch me unpick. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this in. All right. Yeah, I won't make you watch me unpick, but what I am gonna do is go over. I'm gonna have you unpin. Sorry, sorry, sorry. You're gonna just take this and you're going to stitch it. You're just gonna lay it in between. So I'm gonna bring it up to this camera. You're just gonna lay it right even with your seam. And when you pin your pillow together, you're just gonna stitch it in as you go around the pillow. So I've got a spot here where I can add it right now, and then I'll fix it and show it to you for the final. But it's so cute. We don't want to forget it. I knew I would forget something just because I don't have any notes, but it's a simple fix because I'm only at about the third. I don't know. I've got one section left that I can show it to you, and then I can fix it. I'll wash it, show you how cute and fluffy it is. You'll be in love with this stuff when we're done. Okay, so I'm gonna switch cameras again and just show you how I'm putting this in. All right. So this is where I've already sewn, so I can't separate any further, but I'm just laying this inside, right inside there. And if you wanted to pre-stitch that on with a 1/4 inch stitch, you could, and then lay this one on. I'm just going to do it all in one step. So it's layered. You've got your little pink layer in between. Your little pink layer is in between there. We'll just stitch that over here. And then I'll flip it and show you how cute that's going to be. And this doesn't, I mean, I'd love to show you how it is and how fluffy it looks, but I don't want you to, I mean, I guess we could chat for an hour while the washer and dryer does its thing, but that's not any fun. So, I mean, I'd love to chat with you, but I think you've got better things to do with your time. So, um, I'll just quickly do this and then I'm gonna have to do a couple rows of unpicking after this live, and that's okay too. A couple of rows of unpicking, and then I'll fix it and show you the cute thing. I'll post a picture on the Facebook group. If you're not a follower of our Facebook group, go on over there and follow us, and then you'll see the posted pictures. But if you're on our email list, you're gonna get this. You'll get images and you'll get patterns. So don't worry about it too much. All right, so let me show you how to end each piece. Okay, so as you've sewn it in, you've got it sewn in there. Just sew it off the edge and then snip it. And then it's okay. Just throw your next one in next to it. Just throw it in right beside it. Stitch it. You can see, I think you can see. Let me get this organized a little better. So I'm just laying it in there on top of that, on top of the piece I cut. You don't want to worry about bending it around a corner. And then I'm just going to stitch it again. I think I've got my room too hot today. It was raining terribly when I started, and it was cold. So I turned up the heat. It's that time of year where you don't know what the weather's gonna be. It's just crazy. And anyway, I turned up the heat. Now it's just too warm. All right, I'm down to the last one here. And then I can flip that and show you, and we'll be finished for today. And I hope that you decide to join me tomorrow for another fun project. I've got a list. I'm not sure which one I'll be in the mood to work on tomorrow, but I do have a fun list for you this week and some really great patterns. And the only way to get them is to be part of my email list and in the loop. So if you're not, if one of your friends sent you over here and you're not in my email list, just go to my website at hotchocolatequiltcompany.com and join watch for that pop up and join the email list. And again, I don't know what kind of first email you're going to get. I have no idea. I am rewriting all my emails to get everybody current. So it'll say something like you're on the list or welcome. And then everybody in my email list will be getting these patterns. So hopefully you'll join me over there. All right, I'm going to take out all my pins. This is a little rough because I need to unpick and add the pink, but this is fun. Okay, I've got the button still done up, and it's really good to keep your button that because it'll keep those from flipping out. You want to have it be laying nice and flat as you stitch it. Okay. Now I've got a hole because I left a hole here because I've got to go unpick, but you won't have a hole. I've got to go back and unpick. All right, I think we've got this flipped and reversed and so cute. Such a cute pillow. Look how fun that is. And with this pink around the edges, it just finishes it right off. And I'll show you the finished product later. If there's any questions, go ahead and ask them now. Otherwise, we are done until tomorrow. And I hope you join me tomorrow. Thanks for stopping today. And all right, see you later.